Let's move on to the next topic. Something I find very interesting. Another foreign leader who's making waves for all the wrong reasons, or you could say the right reasons, depending on how you look at it, what perspective you are on. Kemi Badenoch, the UK Conservative Party leader of Nigerian descent. However, she doesn't lose any opportunity to throw grass on the motherland and denigrate the home country of her birth, Nigeria. Some people have said she's doing way too much. Others are saying we need someone like her to keep raising attention to the issues, which is insecurity, bad governance, lack of trust, corruption in high places in government, things that have made Nigeria inhabitable and has caused Nigeria to be a, should I say wasteland? Maybe that's a bit extreme, but as you can see in the last few years, everybody that has the opportunity to leave has left the country. I'll just give or try and quote a few things she said in recent times, and then we'll debate on who, the personality Kemi Badenoch is. Is she doing Nigeria a favor, or is she really doing too much and, should find a way to zip it? I'll start with something she said in December 2024, a statement she made. She said, "I find it interesting that everyone defines me as a Nigerian. I identify less with the country than with my specific ethnic group. I have nothing in common with the people from the north of the country, the Boko Haram, where Islamism is. Being Yoruba is my true identity, and I refuse to be lumped with the northern people of Nigeria, who were our ethnic enemies, all in the name of being called Nigerian." Yeah, that was one statement she made in December that generated quite a lot of buzz. At some point, the vice president of the country, Shatima, told her, responded, "If you don't like Nigeria so much, you can change your name and adopt a new nationality." Then later on in the year, 2025, January, she makes yet again another statement while making an address. She says, "I don't want Britain to be like poor Nigeria, where terrible government destroys lives." Goddamn. I mean, can Nigeria catch a break from Madam Kemi Badenoch's grip?
Yeah, I watched, because I don't like to talk in, like in the blank. I need to get to know who I'm talking about. And also I watched one of her interviews, just get a little about, a feel of her, and all. Guys can go and watch it. I think is it Real Talk? Okay, is the Free Press, the Free Press, by Barry Weiss, in the US, honestly, by Barry Weiss, and, they were asking her about her policies, her party policies and all that and everything, and, in that interview, you would see where Badenoch was coming from, because it was like, let's get to know you. What is your background? How did you come about? How did you end up in the UK? How did you become, the leader of the Conservative Party and stuff and all and everything, And I felt like the people that were, throwing jibes at her, like, okay, she's calling out Nigeria, whatever, and that's the thing with all these soundbite type of, life that we are in, the social media age, where something will just copy, cut out, and then they will post it and everybody will start to bloviate, and what's it called? Talking about how dare she, how dare she talk about Nigeria, and all and everything. And I'm like, listen to what she's saying, you talk about your experience when you are growing up. There is no way you can jump, your growing up years and say, okay, I just jumped and I became a conservative leader and all. She was in Nigeria. She lived in Nigeria 16 years. When she was born in the UK, she came back to Nigeria. She lived 16 years and stuff and all. Her parents were doctors, and they said at the time, in the 90s, at the time they were, servicing, clients from the oil and gas and stuff and all. And the parents were doing very well before the military came, and everything went downhill from there and all, and people that experience the military, they have very, very horrible
You
story
can
to tell.
attest to that.
Yeah, I mean, Delegiwa was killed, with letter bomb and all. Gani Fahimi was in and out of the of prison, Kirikiri, back and forth and all, because he was talking against the government and stuff. The same thing with Fela. Fela was his whole music legacy is a chronicle of what Nigeria did to him, and his family and stuff and all. So I mean, I don't know why people think like, she shouldn't talk and all. And if that's her experience, if they don't want her to be talking about Nigeria, then give Nigerians a good experience where they can talk good about Nigeria and all. So all this back and forth of
some people have said that she's supposed to be like an ambassador for the country.
Ambassador, my dirty behind.
She's supposed to be, promoting the positive side of the country, bearing that's our origins, and she's supposed to be like a beacon of hope for Nigerians in diaspora, especially in the UK. But she's taking the whole bad, really. I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted when it comes to Kemi Badenoch, right? Because I also feel like she's playing a game, right? So I read an article where they said Kemi's rise to political relevance wasn't really as a testament to her own astute political brilliance or ability, but rather she's more a beneficiary of the DEI drive, that the party decided to push in hopes that they could galvanize, support from the public, right? So David Cameron was someone who had propped up Kemi Badenoch to begin to get some representation as a minority candidate. And from then on, she, by a string of fortuitous circumstances, rose up, to take that position. She hasn't really been tested as a, how do I put it, on a like vote only basis where her popularity or endearment to the public decides whether she wins the position, right? So it's more like her rise has been sort of like appointment based, and people are asking, is she playing a game where she's trying to prop up the Britain or Britain, and Nigeria just happens to be the collateral damage, and because you've seen her say things like she doesn't believe in reparations, right? She doesn't believe that the UK has to do anything to remediate for, the colonial era and the things that happened, in colonialism against Nigeria or other African countries. She says it's been decades since the UK left. Why is Nigeria, for example, still crying about what the UK did? By now, the UK and the Nigeria should have charted their own destinies, right? And you can argue the sense in that, but some people who have very emotional feelings or reactions to that experience don't see it that way. And then the question is, how far is she willing to go to curry favor amongst, the British elite, right? And is it worth basically shitting on your country and your ancestry just to get that?
Yeah, so if they say she's DEI, I'm going to ask them that they should give evidence to, if they said David Cameron gave her what's it called?
Like a slot, like a push, yeah.
Yeah, a push and all. Who hasn't gotten the push, in their career path? Everybody at some point, you would need somebody to kind of put your name down and say, I mean, I can vouch for this person and all and everything. And she's a system analyst. She graduated. She's an A student, when she was, what's it called? When she was in school and all. But she said she had some, issues when she was doing her A-levels because, she wasn't really encouraged and stuff, but she was an A student and all. So, and then she worked in the bank, she worked in the media and all and everything. So, she has paid her dues. And I think the people that don't really know much about, her is the reason why they're talking about. And then when they talk about reparation for what? For what exactly, really? At some point, do you know that we colonized ourselves in Nigeria too, way back when? We watched, what's it called? Zili Shabi that we watched and all, and then we went back to how did the story start and all. It was about kingship and then, what's it called? Slaves and stuff and all. That's what happened. Now we were what's it called? We're transacting, doing slave trade amongst ourselves now. So what's the reparation that you're talking about? It just happened that a government that is more powerful came and they sat and then they started negotiating, you know, it became a bargain. Like who has the most money and who has the most wheat, you know, to get slaves. That's what happened now. So when they left us alone. Since 1960, we've been governing ourselves. What have we done to our, to make ourselves better? So we're now talking about, is Britain, is the UK, are they our problem now? You know, in, in Benue State, and Funtaqa, exploded, killed about over 100 people. This is just last week. Oh. Did you hear that Tinubu went to go and visit them or to go and see them to do, in Enugu, I saw a post by, Peter Obi, you know, and I checked it again. There's another explosion tanker again, you know, that killed maybe like 10 or 20 people. You know, just yesterday. And this thing happened in Nigeria and everybody just kind of like, you know, just dust our hands and then we just go. There was a time when, containers were just falling left and right and center at Ojuelegba. You know,
that bridge.
Yeah, it was just like, it was like a trend, you know. Another container falls, everybody will just cry, you know, go and bury the person and stuff and all. We don't treat ourselves well. So what are we now saying? So is Kemi Badenoch is now our problem. I beg, make all of us go sit down for one place. We leave Kemi alone. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think, if you ask me, I think she's a beacon of light, you know, to show that Nigerians can actually have capability, you know, to lead, which is what she's doing there, really. You know, so people should leave her alone. She's doing the bidding of her party. You know, a country gave her, Nigeria did not give her a fair shot. She went to another country, she served well and all, and they gave her a fair shot at, you know, at the highest office, you know, in the land and all. So, what are you saying?
And I think people are being hypocritical in terms of how they criticize Kemi Badenoch, to be honest, because the same people who are shouting that, oh, she's supposed to be the one championing the Nigerian cause, a brand ambassador, blah, 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 blah. They ran away from Nigeria.
Most of them.
They ran away.
Most of them don't.
They're in the UK. If you love Nigeria so much, why do you run?
Why will I not stay now?
Do you understand? This is someone who is saying that she's the living testament of what a working system can be.
Exactly.
You know, your dreams can come true. And I looked at that statement she made where she said she doesn't want Nigeria to become Britain. She doesn't want Britain to become like Nigeria, as a rich country that was run by bad governments. She said she watched as her parents who were working harder.
Yeah.
But they were getting poorer.
They had money.
They were working harder, but they're getting poorer because inflation continues to go through the roof. And that's our reality today. Today we are walking backwards. We're running, but we're actually running backwards. Because even though we're working harder, economic policies and decisions that our government is making keeps setting us backwards. The inflation is galloping. It's not just rising. And it's like, how much more money can you make to stay afloat? Really? Right?
This guy posted, I don't know if because you're in the finance space and stuff.
Yeah.
Rufai posted something and I was like, how true is it? Jonathan during his tenure, he was paying subsidy. He had 40-something trillion debt.
Yeah.
Tinubu is removed subsidy now that they said is the one that is eating us up. We have
like
almost 150-something trillion.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? What are we saying?
Some people have been asking questions about the gains from subsidy removal. All the things you said will benefit because we're not paying subsidy. Where is it? Right. And I argue all the time and I say, like, listen, it's all fair games to say, oh, you want to run the country like a capitalist environment where you're saying free market should determine the price of goods and services. But there's a flip side to that. The flip side to that is everybody is going to become profit hungry and the price of things will begin to skyrocket so much that the masses are going to be left exposed. Not everybody is going to be able to afford those things. And if you want to mirror what other countries like America does, let's not forget, America has a very robust social safety net system, right? They've got unemployment benefits. They've got shelters, feeding programs for kids, for unemployed people, for people that don't have homes. Nigeria doesn't have that, right? So at some point, Tinubu and his government is going to have to figure out what is their plan for social safety net programs, right? And it's not just about saying we're distributing 70,000 naira to 15 million households. All those audio programs that they say they're always doing.
Yeah, how many people
We
get that
need
money?
to see some real transparency around it. And we need to see some physical plans, right? To protect the vulnerable, right? Because not everyone is going to be able to survive in this high price environment that the government's policy is driving us to.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about what's it called? Want to drive a capitalist type of, society and all. We're not driving any capitalist type of society because we're producing, I mean, next to nothing, we're not producing anything, So the countries that are driving capital are the ones that have Silicon Valley, are the ones that have, what's it called? Steel plants, that can make steel and stuff. They are the ones that have
heavy industries.
Yeah, heavy duty industries and stuff. Those are the ones that are driving, that's the reason why, China is the way it is and stuff and all. That's the reason why China has become like a force to reckon with and all. So, what we are doing now is we are just living off of trades, and then we have, what's it called? The social security net that you're talking about is now, what's it called? The subventions are given to the people in government, that are making, hundreds of billions of naira, at the expense of the people that they're supposed to be leading and all. So ours, the way I look at ours, I'm Kemi Badenoch in Nigeria. That's where I look at it, and I can attest to everything that Kemi Badenoch is saying. I can attest to it that majority of Nigerians are going through it. So it's not even something that, I said I watched the Barry Weiss interview. And she was talking about, they asked her about, the police, in the UK, the police in the UK, they said they've now become, like woke, they coming after people that are posting stuff
on Instagram
and stuff and everything, But she said, that they can say that, but what they got out of that, the information that they got out of it was that, actually, those people that they went to their house to arrest or to accost and all, some people were doxing them, to the police. They will get their address and then they will mail the police or they will call the police office and say, this person is threatening me, this person is threatening my life and stuff and all. That was what happened. That was what happened. That's part of the things that were happening and stuff and all. So those woke guys, those liberal guys, and then maybe somebody posts somebody like, UK is a Christian nation. We don't want LGBTQ, and all that. Somebody will call the police that this person is a threat to my life and stuff and all. It's actually that. So the police will now go there and all. But she said she was not talking about our own experience in Nigeria. Where armed robbers used to come to the neighborhood, and then they will come and they will steal, they will kill people, and then they will go. Do you know that thing happened to me? Not necessarily happened to me. Happened to us in my neighborhood. It was Alagomeji. Happened to us in my neighborhood. I was staying down Noble, Adebi area and stuff and all. There was a period where, when armed robbers want to come, they will give you letter. Stuff that happened in Nigeria. It's like movie to people that hears it. They will send letter. They will tell you that they are coming on so day, and they will come. So what happened? This particular day, it was It was very vivid because my friends, my friend in neighborhood, Olisa, their dad had this pump action shotgun.
Yeah.
And then when the armed robbers, when they came in, it happened that his house is just sitting like a T junction. So his house is sitting opposite the street. So he could see
them coming.
So, and he lives upstairs, a 2-story building. He lives upstairs. So it was at a vantage point.
Yeah.
So it was blasting them, those armed robbers and stuff and all and everything. So it was more, and the way he was blasting them so much that, we didn't even know that he had a gun, really. It was the first time that we knew that somebody had a gun, in that neighborhood and all. So it was blasting them. So it was so much that the armed robbers, they left because they felt like, these guys are really ready for them and stuff. So that's why they didn't. So, Marvin's, what's it called? Dad now became the superstar in our neighborhood.
Calvin Clark.
Stuff, yeah. And also these are the things that we can laugh about it and stuff and all, but there are some people that didn't have parents that had guns, that could live to tell the story. They actually kill people. They do all that. These are the things that these are the lived experience that people had.
Yeah.
So for Nigerians to now come, and they now start saying like, oh, maybe she should, what's it called? How good should she talk about Nigeria? That is her experience. That's what she experienced and stuff. As a matter of fact, people are still experiencing it, in Nigeria today, So people should leave Kemi Badenoch alone. Let's face our governments that are ripping us off, that are making life miserable for us. Everything now, what's it called? We also know now that they've also increased data subscription fees
very soon,
by 50%. Is it very soon? Or they've done it?
Well, I see bought data at the normal price a couple of days ago, so I don't know.
So they're increasing it by 50% and stuff and all. The people that, what's it called? They've increased tariff for house rent.
Yeah, house rent has gone up.
That one is
crazy.
That one just going because there's no distance to that one now.
Yeah, there's no restriction or regulation.
Just come today and say, and if we can actually do a drama about it, the landlord will come. Money don't increase, though. And you say, but say wait.
Quit notice straight. In fact, my colleague was telling me that what they do on the island, the landlord doesn't even talk to them. He just first serve everybody quit notice first. Quit notice first. So that it's not like I see we're negotiating the price. Is you that now come that landlord, you want increase price, how much you want collect? Fine. Because if it comes with, I want to increase price, not going to fight. Just quit notice first. Leave. The people that are coming, they will pay the price I want. That's where we are right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. You can imagine there is no government. This FCCP, what is it called?
Yeah, Federal Consumer Protection.
Yeah, those ones are just nuisance.
They try their best. To be honest.
Try their best. Okay.
How many things can they really control? Yeah. Anyways, Kemi Badenoch, you have a fan in Resh. He thinks you're doing a great job.
No, Kemi Badenoch, you're doing a good job. If you also want to know, she met with JD Vance. And I think that's one of the meetings that she went to do when Barry Weiss was interviewing her and all. And she's a conservative, So majority of Trump's policies is what they actually also embrace, reduce tax on the people, open up, the bureaucracy. Remove all the bureaucracies where people can they want to register a business, they have to go through like 10 offices and stuff, make it easy for people to register, open up, the the production industry, let people produce, let people do. Those are the things that, and then immigration, cut down on immigration and stuff and all. Those are the things that they're promoting that they want to do and stuff and all. Mm-hmm. And they are an independent state. They're a sovereign nation. They can decide how they want to run their country. If Nigeria was good, if Nigeria was serving us well and stuff, we won't be bothering about Kemi Badenoch. We won't even know Kemi Badenoch.
Yeah.
What was our business with Kemi Badenoch?
First.
But this is where we are at and all.